Okay, here we are with another episode of Mind the Autism podcast, and you can tell that I'm busting at the seams. I'm so excited to speak with Tal Vardi. He and is the co-founder and CEO of Roim Rachok. I apologize. I know I didn't say that correctly. It is now the translation is looking ahead, and or we see far, and he's going to share a little bit more about the essence of that. It's a program that supports autistic people to receive training to be engaged in the IDF, and it's the first of its kind on the planet, and there are thousands of mentions from the New York Post to Esquire magazine to Business Insider and more of how this program is making a difference in multifaceted ways. So, with that, I know I've said a lot, Tal. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Tal, and I'm a yoga teacher. And other at home with Ronit we have 7 kids, and I in the last 11 years I'm doing the most, let's say, stable task of my entire life, and I'm co-founder and manager or CEO of Roim Rachok Program. Roim Rachok is a program. And the basic that stands behind what we are doing is to give young adults on the autistic spectrum the opportunity to enhance their strength in core professions, and by that contributing to themselves, to society in a meaningful way. That's actually our goal. And we started very in 11, 12 years ago, let's say, with the idea that people on the spectrum has maybe special visual capabilities in one hand. In the other hand, we find out that there's a need for area photo analyzers in the IDF. And we approached the commander of the unit that in Israel is called 9900. It's actually a unit in IDF that is dealing with all the visual information that are received from any kind of sources. It can be satellites, planes, and so on. And we met him that time. I'm saying we because it was I had a partner, Liora, she and myself, we started it with other good people around us. And we approach and ask him, listen, if what you say about the idea to take people on the spectrum to be aerial photo analyzers. And he gave us a very unique answer. He said, listen, the amount of visual information is almost endless in our days. And for my part, anyone that can do the job, I need him. And more than that, I don't see then that computer will replace a man doing this job for the next 20, 30 years. So we understood that there's a real need down there or in the IDF, but he said, listen, but the IDF doesn't know how to do it. And but we got actually the first principle, the real need. There's a real need for task. And on our side was to prove that there's real capabilities. So there were already research before we started, done in Israel by a professor, Yoram Bonet's name, that was dealing with the visual capabilities of people on the spectrum. And what he managed to find that they see different. Okay, he doesn't manage to say what, but they see difference. And from our understanding, and my partner already started with one of the universities to try to figure out in what field they see better, or they see different people on the spectrum than the neurotypicals. And for my part, it was, let's take a group, train them as aerial photo analyzers, and if they do the task even the same as all the others, it's worthwhile. And so
you're talking about pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition and ability to locate, to see things that other can't see. Okay, now it can be pattern, it can be it doesn't have to be something that is repeated, but to manage to see something that others won't see it, or manage to, for example, to go via huge areas and to find differences that can be for other people very, very difficult to do. But there are some out there that can see that if something is different, it bothers them. It doesn't, they can, they be able to trace it for many reasons, okay? And this kind of capability is needed. If you have to look in a huge part of the desert and to locate something very specific and so on. So, but anyway, so as the IDF, as that commander said, but the IDF doesn't know how to do it, we said, okay, how we can do it. And we approached the Ono Academic College. It's a college that is located in the center of Israel. The first one reason was because it's in the center, so it's most probably will be able to locate candidates and so on as it's in the center. But mainly was because they do have the Faculty of Health Studies that includes speech therapy, occupation therapy, and physiotherapy. But these professions are, as we understood that time, are quite needed for people on the spectrum. So we approached the college and we said, look, the idea is to take young adults on the spectrum, to train them as aerial photo analyzers, and to recruit them into the IDF, and we're looking for partner. Myself and the Ono Academic College welcomed us with broad hands and said, okay, let's try it. We did have to, so we got from the unit, we got a military commander, officer, that he was aerial photo analyzers in the service. He came as a reserve, and he worked with a lady from the Ono Academic College that she is occupation therapist. Her name is Efrat, and later on she became a professional manager. And they worked together. They took the IDF standard course of aerial photo analyzing and actually adapted it into training people on the spectrum. At the same time, we said, okay, how we can sort and see who is good for the task, who can be in the task, and so on. We started with my partner's son, that he's on the spectrum. We made the first interview with him to see how you interview and how you deal, how you will manage to do it. And then we built a system of sorting. It means, and the basic idea is to take, let's say, actions from the work itself, and from easy tasks to more sophisticated, but it's almost one-on-one trial of what they're supposed to do later on in the work in the service. And we built it in a way that it starts from easy task of, let's say, find differences between two pictures, and going to more and more sophisticated tasks. We built it, and then we managed in the first, and it was in 2013, the first group of candidates. We worked with them, and we managed to find out 12 candidates for our first course that started in July 2013. Now, we decided on 3 months course. 3 months is a good period of time, military-wise, and so on. They're planning such things and so on. But we did it as a students, they've been before they were recruited. Actually, candidates were aged 18 to 25. That's because till the age of 25, you can be drafted into the IDF as volunteer. Okay. Now, the IDF already opened his doors for people on the spectrum in the year 2000 to those who actually be exempt or got, as in Israel, the service is compulsory, but if you do have specific or any kind of diagnose or health issues, you don't have to or you can't. It means it depends how you are exempt for military service. And for people on the spectrum, it was, they opened the door in the year 2000 with two conditions. One, that the person is independent. It means he can travel in and out from the bases and so on. And the second thing, that he's not risking himself or others. And if persons stand with these two criteria, the IDF got a small unit that deals with volunteers, and then they came to them, they looked for units for they can serve, but they didn't get any kind of military training or professional training. And usually they were doing or doing tasks that is needed, but not professional tasks in the IDF. But then the numbers were limited. What we brought in was first that we'll train them in a profession that the unit needs, and actually it's the core activity of the unit, and that was the big difference. And we started with the first course, 3 months course, that was built 50% of the time, the military task that was trained by soldiers, but we added, and it was 12. Okay, we started with 12. We added to the group occupation therapist, a speech therapist, and an emotional therapist. And the emotional therapist, I must say, in the beginning, we didn't thought about it, and it was like a last minute idea. Let's bring someone that deals with the, let's say, the emotional part of activities, and we brought her in, and we find out that it's very needed. All the professions are needed, including the emotional side. The first course started 12. Only 11 accomplished it. And the main lesson was there with the guy that didn't finish the course. He came to the course, he sat with 11 mirrors around the table, and the first thing he said, "I'm not like you. I'm different." And then later on, we find out that his parents actually told him that he went to a special school because the school need budget, that he doesn't have anything, and actually didn't expose him being on the spectrum. And we understood that later on, he won't be able to cope in the IDF because over there, everybody will know that he is on the spectrum. And then, since the second course, actually we are running now 27 course already. It means since the second course that was running in 2004, 50% of the time of the course is the military profession, runs by soldiers. The other 50%, the working skill, life skills, any kind of skills that needed for a person to be in the IDF, to be as a soldier. This is the second. But in my point of view, the most important part is the personal journey that each individual is going through, meaning identity.
Can we back up just a second, because you're giving so much amazing content, and I'm really curious. When you first started this journey, you had an idea of what autism was. How has your observation or experience of autism changed to to today?
I must say that time I didn't have much knowledge about autism, and I admit that today I don't have much. It's I'm saying in a way, it, and maybe if I knew today what I know, I'm not sure we were jumping into the water. In one hand, okay, the challenges. I'm smiling. It's not true, but it part of the thing that we started it was that we didn't know much things, and we said, okay, we'll do it. Today we have much more knowledge and much more experience, and and I think the basic thing that now I can say, or if I'm trying to answer your question as you asked, I didn't have it experience about autism before I went into this program. I don't have it in my family. It's something that were very new for me, and always I was exposed to it only like in 2012. I didn't have much background about it. But during that, since I started and since we started the program and so on, yes, I was exposed to many people, to many ideas and so on. And what I understand is that out there are people, okay, that do have challenges, that as mankind managed to put it under kind of let's say definition, okay, not of them about the challenges, but it's only the edge of the iceberg. But it's edge of the iceberg is all of us as persons, okay? People on the spectrum, yeah, the definition help us to deal with some of the challenges, give us ideas how we can overcome it, because it's shared by other people. But but I agree with the one who said that each individual is very different and the challenges are very different. I think the common ground is people that maybe the world is not the most friendly place for them. Sensory wise, social wise, it's not the most friendly environment, and therefore the challenge to walk around in this environment is what we see. And I hope I explained myself maybe.
Yes, I definitely understand what you're sharing. Yeah, thank you. And can you share about the difference that this has made for maybe some of the families or some of the other stakeholders that have been involved, maybe indirectly or directly with your program?
Repeat your question, please. I didn't understood it rightly.
Can you share sure? Can you share the difference your program has made for the lives of maybe external stakeholders and people directly involved in the program? Share, because
Yeah.
they had one idea of what their life was going to be like, and then they go through your program, and then they have a different experience of themselves, and that different experience then has an impact on their community.
So I think, yeah, we managed to touch people, and people come with their families. So I think it influenced quite a large community of people around our country. First of all, to each individual that go via the program. And I think the main thing, it's 18 to 20 now, year old. It's not young adults, okay, that starts the life. They're not anymore. And I think opportunity that they get with us makes the difference, because they get the tools to be part of an organization like the IDF, okay? They get professional training, but the main thing that I believe they get the confidence in themselves. They trust themselves that they can, okay? Because some of them, if not most of them, the high school and the school experience is not easy one. It's usually, they are not the leaders in the class. They suffer sometimes. They have not an easy experience, and I'm talking about Israel, but I'm sure it's around the world like a issue. And then they come to a place that we're speaking through. We're not telling any stories. Everything is on the table. The challenges, the diagnosis, and the capabilities. And we, in the beginning, we say we trust you. But now the issue, what we want you to trust yourself and to see that you're capable.
Mm.
And we don't give any shortcuts. We really demand. But I'll quote one of our candidates. Okay, we have a 3-month course. And after the course, I don't know what kind of event, but I believe it's part of lots of them. And but I quote him, okay? He said, in this 3 months, I gained much more than I gained in 3 years in high school. So, okay. So what we do in 3 months?
That's huge.
Okay, but when I'm asking myself what we managed to do in 3 months, we managed to give each individual the confidence that he's able to trust himself, that to look at his strength, to look what he can, and not to I'm saying, and to move on, So, but the training is only the first part of the journey, and then later on, we managed to create with the IDF 4 months a trial period that they go into the IDF, into the units, 4 days a week, as they will be recruited as volunteers. They are serving in open bases. They're not sleeping in base. It means they're coming and going out. They don't do shifts. They don't carry weapon. Okay, they more professional soldiers, and therefore we created this 4 months of trial period. It was a recommendation of the IDF that they are still not the soldiers. It's let's say it's advanced training, professional-wise. They sit in the systems. They are in the unit. They have this advanced training. And they're dealing only with the military task, not anymore the other stuff of that. And the one that leads it is the military commanders. And just for one to know, in Israel, the commanders are almost the age of the soldiers. It means it's a guy, women soldiers, 20s, commanding a guy her age. That's the group of people you're talking about. And in this trial period, each individual have the ability to see if it suit him, how he feel in the frame, in the environment of the IDF, with the demands, the commands, and so on. It's not an easy place to do, and so on. And for us as a program and the commanders, because we managed to do it because of partnerships. It's not us by ourselves. We partner with the IDF, we partner with the universities, we partner. So, and for us to see if the military service will do good, because not for everyone the military service will do good. And I'll put it this way: we have high success rate. If we look statistic-wise, it's more than 90% that started the course and will be drafted after the 3 months course and 4 months trial period. The 10% that don't, it's mainly those who hard for them to accept that them being on the spectrum. The challenge they have to be exposed. And it's what we find out, it's not only their challenge, it's the family challenge too. We have a very
So most of the people who are coming to you, they already have a diagnosis. They don't have a diagnostic process when they come to you.
No, it's a condition that they'll be already diagnosed. Okay, but some of them have been
Okay.
diagnosed on the age of 2 or 3, and some of them a year before they came to us. Okay, but we deal only with people on the spectrum. We don't, and that's like a condition to come into the program. We don't have the knowledge and to deal with other kind of challenges. What we
Mm,
managed to do, and we decided it from the very beginning. We want to be very specific and to be very professional in what we're doing, understanding that you can't do everything. Okay,
mm.
and
What when you look at when you look at your enrollment, and earlier you mentioned that there are female commanders and things of that nature. We spoke previously, and you indicated that there are more men who are enrolling in the program. And do you think that's primarily because women don't tend to get a diagnosis, or what's happening with? What do you think is some of the rationale behind not having as many females in your program?
we didn't make any research about why we don't have more. I can say that we have much more men than women. For example, the course that runs now, okay, with 27 students, there's only one lady.
Mm,
The
mm,
ratio, I think in the research, they say 4-1. Uh, it goes 4, but I think in our program, let's say the ratio is, if I'll say 1-20 or 1-15 will be much more accurate, but it's in our environment. Now, there's lots of
right.
answers. None of them I can think about why it's this way. Maybe I no, I don't have a good answer. Okay, we approached,
Mm,
and actually we do have some women soldiers that are doing excellent job. They're very talented. They're doing excellent job. But I can't say why the numbers are the big difference. I can say that
mm. Well,
that, and I'll put it this way:
the
most of those,
diagnostic
yeah, sorry,
well, the diagnostic process for men and women is different, and women are not always diagnosed early. Sometimes it takes them to have an autistic breakdown before they actually get a diagnosis, or correctional autistic burnout before they get a diagnosis. So that could have something to do with it, but again, I can't research what's happening in your area, but that would be my speculation.
yeah. So I don't have a good answer for it. I can say that the phenomena is right. It means there's more, in our point of view, there's more boys than girls. Okay, in this sense. There's maybe one answer because the main or most of the tasks we're dealing with have some kind of a technical approach, like aerial photo analyzing, programming, and so on. That usually it's more suitable for a or more scientific approach. And I think in the world too, uh, it there's division between who is going to these kind of tasks. But I can say that those who approach us, the ratio is high. It means those who come for us, the success rate of uh,
Mhm,
women that comes is high. And
mhm,
as I said, we're doing, and we did we do have 6 professions now. We have aerial photo analyzing,
mhm,
GIS, programming, information sorting, electronics, and data tagging. You can find them in
mhm.
all these tasks. Okay, they're doing all these tasks, even
Yeah,
electronics, and
that's
so on.
amazing.
Yeah, and
What are some of the what are some of the surprising outcomes that you didn't see happening that you're noticing?
I think a beautiful thing that happens in the course and later on, that it becomes like the social friendship uh, uh, connection. and and to see that, usually people say about people with spectrum that they don't have friends. It's hard for them to be to have social activities, and the bond that they create in the course itself. I met yesterday a guy that they are still in connection. They went overseas. They're doing meeting for dinners. We ourselves, we do some kind, we call it Rachok on the bar. Once in a while, we are bringing in a bar in Tel Aviv. We invite everyone. We bring someone to give a lecture. And so this social network that were created is amazingly beautiful. It's beautiful.
So you've created a community.
Yeah. And community were created. Yeah. And actually, recently we launched a parents community for parents, for those who already finished the military service, not because in the military service, we have a very specific relations with the parents. Okay. We let the guys or the soldiers to the independence. We bring in the parents only when it's needed. We want to actually create the uh, getting out from the wings of the protection sometimes, or the overprotections of families. But once they end the military service, we decided recently that we'll open a parents community, because the challenges sometimes for parents continue. What will happen after the service, and what will happen if they want to study, and so on. And in our program, the first course started in 2013, and they already ended the military service. So we added 2 stages to our program. We have sorting, we have the course, we have the trial period, we have the military service. And then we started a few years ago what we call Gateway to Employment, workshops to prepare them for the life after the military service, because practically it will
Wow.
be the first point in their life that they'll be free. They'll have to decide. They'll have to work what they want to do. And these workshops are very successful. 2 days ago, there was a workshop, and we brought in the more senior guys from the program to talk about their experience of life, because they are working, because our last stage is working place. So we accompany them, and we in working places, and we have like around 80 of our graduates that are with us in companies like Microsoft, Intel, and so on. So
Wow.
it's, and you know what, why we decided it was, we had we built how you call a steering committee in the beginning, and we brought in the Ministry of Welfare and Ministry of Education. Okay. The Ministry of Welfare, the contribution was, they say, because we looked for candidates, they said, we know that you struggle now to find candidates, but the number are rising. In the future, it won't be any more challenge to find candidates. And the Ministry of Education, the only contribution was said, they told us, don't call it a project, call it a program. Project have specific day of starting and ending. A program is going ahead. So it's a Roim Rachok program, and we decided that we'll be with them as a family as long as they want to be with us. So we do have guys that started the course in the first course in July 2013, and we are with them now in working places, and we meet them, and we have connection with them, and the community, you said, become of all of us. And the other thing we are doing, that we're doing the senior ones to train the young ones. It means as senior soldiers, they're coming into the courses to expose. We understood that, let's say, commanding the root of developing is the professional one. To go to the professional, because over there they can become a source of knowledge, become some very, very useful, and it proves itself. There's few of them that stayed in the IDF as professional soldiers and as a center of knowledge, doing really amazing jobs. But I think you wanted to hear.
We're almost
Okay.
we're actually out of time, and I just wanted to comment that everything that I know about your program, I see that it's something that can be the framework of it can be leveraged globally to support other neurodiverse communities if they would only reach out. And I would imagine that you probably get several requests for speaking engagements and things of that nature. So go ahead.
No. So I think what we managed to create can be useful in any other places. It's not because the basic is there. It has to be adapted cultural wise to each country and to manage to do it. We will be happy to share it. The few places that find interest in it. As we are a non-for-profit organization, it means we have to find a way how it will be moved ahead to other countries or other organizations. And in our part, we'll be happy to share it. I think it's if that's what you ask, that's my question, my answer. Sharing our experience in one hand, what we're doing in any kind of and I want to if before I end, I want to quote the first commander of first soldiers. I think it shows something that can. We made a swearing in ceremony, and one of the fathers of the soldiers asked the commander, young lady, asked her, "Are there really better aerial photo analyzers than the others?" So she gave this answer. She said, "Some of them are unique aerial photo analyzers, but all of them are the best soldiers I ever had." And I think what we managed to find that once we give opportunity to someone and it's his choice and he's doing it, it makes the difference. So there's lots of people out there, those on the spectrum, that do have challenges and just need someplace, somewhere, the opportunity to enhance their strength and give them the opportunity to do it. And personally, for me, I'm saying I'm so lucky because I find to be in a place that's what I'm doing. And I'm thankful. I'm really thankful to this. I don't know why
it sounds so rewarding, and I feel so immensely appreciative hearing about this program and what you've done and how you're continuing to contribute in this way. It's amazing. And I'm also looking forward to future conversations because today we just really talked about the overview. And in our future conversations, I'd love to speak with other people in the organization so we can get maybe a different lens, especially from a research perspective, what they've noticed, all of it, because what you're doing is so unique and powerful.
Thank you. I can suggest we can do a panel with participants of the program. Just you ask them, not me.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay.
much. So we're gonna end here.
Yeah. It's still
what is your final
recording,
word?
or it's still recording, or it's
Yes,
can you stop recording?
Yep, still recording. We're gonna close in just a moment. But you can close us out with your final word.
To close this with final words. That's what you want me to say.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm thankful for this opportunity to be interviewed, to present what we are doing. I think we managed to create something that is, in one hand, unique, but on the other hand, very needed in lots of parts. And us as a program, And partners in this program will be very happy to share knowledge with anyone that will want to.
Thank you. Thank you again. I'm so thankful that we've had this conversation and that we get to share it with the world. And I look forward to our future conversations about what you've made possible. We'll speak soon.